Top 10 manhwa or manhua where MC is strongest in past life. Time travel is one of the most amazing things to happen in manhwa and webtoon. Because of it, they are able to display scenes from past eras in detail and we can see how our ancestor lived. They also make us wonder how different life was back then compared to what it is now. For that reason, there are a lot of manhwa or webtoons where MC goes back in time. The good thing about manhwa is that there are plenty of amazing stories to read. But if you are looking for the best anime travel webtoons, here are the top 10 manhwas or webtoons where MC goes back in time. Starting off with our number 10, Path of the Shaman. This one is a really good Muri manhwa with cool and refreshing fights and a great story. On his deathbed, the Supreme Dark Leader is given an ironic second chance at life. He is reborn as Jinmu, a young disciple of his rival clan, the righteous Mudang. Determined to make the best of a bad situation, he resolves to plunge the clan into corruption and debauchery by becoming their master disciple. Oblivious to this nefarious scheme, the Mudang begin to fall for Jinmu's audacious approach to life and martial arts. Will Jinmu be the Mudang clan's downfall or just the kick in the pants it needs? This is one of the best Muri manhwa I have ever read. Totally recommended. You won't regret reading it. Number 9. Reverse Villain. The story started out a bit jumpy, still understandable, but once you get into the current timeline, the story gets a lot smoother. Jung-woo is stuck in a reincarnation cycle along with his nemesis, Shin Ryong. Ever since he was little, he had a dream. He wanted to become strong enough to conquer Murem. However, things don't always go the way he planned. Shin Ryong defeated him on every occasion. At this point, Ha Jung-woo had been reincarnated 5 times and was defeated yet again. When he was reincarnated for the 6th time, he was born into the modern world. Being born into a new world changes Jung-woo's goal, as there is no Murem in the modern world. I would say that this is a story you should give it a try. Number 8. The Max Level Returner. A great manga for those who like manga like Log Horizon or solo leveling. However, it takes a little bit of time to get an understanding of the storyline. The world falls into a state of panic when 120 million players of a popular VR game, Eternal World, vanish without a trace on one day. A few months later, they begin returning one by one after dying in the game. But they are not the only ones to make it back. Monsters also start to appear and wreak havoc on Earth. All hope seems lost until the masked monarch, the most powerful player of Eternal World, returns. He quickly assembles his old team back together to defeat the beast and the nefarious Demon King once and for all. But the man-made weapons are useless against the enemies they must fight, and players are struggling to level up without the game's special items or rewards. The masked monarch has a few tricks up his sleeve, but will they be enough to save the world? Number 7. Chronicles of the Martial Gods Return. The 6th masterpiece of the Yuuzha genre that'll meet your expectations, just like third-rate Chronicles of Return, The Conqueror of the Heavenly Faction, and the Chronicles of 7 Dragons and 7 Demons. Chronicles of the Martial Gods Return, the ultimate martial divine demon, Dan Yu-hoon, was sealed up because he was too strong for the world to handle. After a millennium passed by, he was released from his seal and felt like everything was meaningless as he wandered the back alleys. Just as he fell down because he was sick of the world, a small hand appeared in front of him. The reason why I rate this manga a 9.5 out of 10 is because of his plot of an MC being overpowered as hell, then getting caught and becoming frozen for thousands of years to come back, then eventually the MC came back. The start is good, but I do think that it's a bit boring just having a 1000-year-old MC coming back with nothing to do, but overall it's not bad for now. The art is great, you don't need to worry about that. Number 6. The dark magician transmigrates after 66,666 years. This one is pretty good. The MC is really interesting. Moreover, the art is especially good and fits perfectly with the plot. Diablo Volper, a powerful dark mage, was defeated and sealed away in a battle against the 12 gods. He finally wakes up from his sleep 66,666 years later, however, in the body of a newborn baby, Jamie Wilson. 9 years later, with the fraction of power he once held and with the loving family and peaceful environment, he is now surrounded by Jamie plans to exact revenge against the 12 gods that had sealed him away. I really recommend this manhwa to everyone who likes the genre of OP main characters. Moving on to our number 5, Leveling Beyond the Max. Well, it's your typical Korean hunter or ranker manhwa with an overpowered MC. Can't really say anything more to it right now. There is not enough content so far to see a specific direction. After a car crash mysteriously transports him to a land of martial arts, Cha Shin-yoon trains for 140 years and becomes the strongest being in Murem. But when he returns to Earth, it's nothing like he remembers. Though he is finally reunited with his sister, the home he once knew is now filled with people called hunters who defeat monsters to level up their powers in a constant race for survival. Now he must start back at level 1 and work to extract revenge on the person who altered his fate. One thing I like here so far is that this one doesn't seem to be all about wealth and fame. In other words, greed, as most other of its kind. Number 4. The Great Maze returns after 4,000 years. This manga is a real roller coaster for me. Sometimes I can't wait for the next chapter, but sometimes the plot gets boring and I do not read it for a month. Lucas Stroman was the greatest archmage in history until he was condemned by demigod to spend eternity losing his mind. But 4,000 years later, he is thrust back into this world, into the body of Frey Blake, the weakest, most untalented student at the prestigious West Road Academy for Mages. After all this time, the world of magic has barely progressed. Could this be the work of demigod? Determined to find out, Lucas seeks to reach the highest levels of power once again and get his revenge. Well, I have to say this is pretty good. The main character is pretty smart and also a genius. Number 3. Heavenly Martial God. This is a solid martial arts manhwa. Matchless Ha Hu Young, the greatest martial artist reigning over all the lands. There is no one that is my equal. I was drowning to futility and emptiness because there was no more that I could accomplish in the human realm. To reach the peak of martial arts, I must become a saint. I finally succeeded. Stop. Your ascension is not permitted. The other saints refused my ascension due to my karma after much slaughter, and I felt just like that. When I woke up, I was 60 years in the future. I was reborn as the second lord of the Namgung family, Namgung Hyuk. Where has all the initial energy that I have accumulated gone? Moreover, I have the 9 yin energy blockage. Give it a try if you want some laughs. Number 2. Memorize. A guy lives through a brutal isekai world for 10 years, where all his friends die. He ends up living as a loner and becoming the strongest player. He uses that power to turn back time to hinder all that he experienced. In this life, he decides to not to be a loner. I like the premise of the story. In short, it is a man who uses his knowledge and skill from previous life to become really strong. He also gathers strong followers. The art is good. Characters are good as of chapter 26. For example, there is some tension between one character and the MC because she is worried that he is hiding something, because he knows so much. Overall, I recommend it. And finally, number 1. Kill the Hero. After he is killed by a righteous leader of his own guild, Wu Jin gets a chance to start over. This time, he is not interested in saving the world from monsters. He's got his sights set on revenge. His high-level skills quickly garner him notoriety among the game plebs, while boosting his stats as he masterminds his way closer to the top. But there is something no one can figure out: whose side he's playing for. Now that he knows how to play to win, Woojin will stop at nothing to destroy the hero. I enjoy the basis of this story, which is extremely similar to solo leveling. Art is really good, plot is intense and will make you cynical, and the main character is someone you can truly enjoy. Taking the side of an antagonist, this story isn't really lacking in any way, and unlike typical things spun off, the main character isn't an overall beast and there is continual development to them. Overall, it's really a good read. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and our list. If you did for real, make sure you slap that like button and get that like button go to blue. Also feel free to head to the comment section and let us know your thoughts about this video too. And as for now, I will catch you guys later. See ya!